There's an issue going on with Madi Jobarteh. Madi Jobarteh is a Gambian. He's a bona fide Gambian, civil society, and Madi Jobarteh has every right to talk about what is and what is not happening in the Gambia. Madi Jobarteh has every right, just like every citizen, to come out and say this is wrong or this is right and hold our government accountable. You see, we are the voices for the voiceless. There's a lot of people out there that will want to talk, that will want to express how they feel, just like Madi. Unfortunately, they don't have that voice, or they can't come on media. But when you go to platforms, or you go to VOOs, or you go to the Bantaba in the village, these are discussions that people are having about the conditions and the way forward for Gambia, talking about the presidency. Mr. President, what are you doing? It's been 100 days. Oh, Mr. President, why didn't he select his cabinet? Or the ministers, why are they doing their job? Or the ministers, what are they doing? The medical system. So these are discussions that are happening every day in the Gambia. And Mr. President, these are things that you have to take positively. I listened to your speech. When the elders, the Muslim elders came to State House to have a discussion with you or to meet with you. And I listened to your speech. You were doing good until you did a personal attack on Madi. You see, the Council of Leaders, the elders, they didn't come to you to talk about an individual. I listened to them. They came with concerns. They came to discuss your presidency. They came to understand what you're going to do for the Gambia. These elders, these are our elders. These are the elders of the country. I heard one of them talk about the schools, Muslim high school, talk about development. These are concerns. And they came there to discuss with you these concerns because their communities, the people around them, they tell them, they said, suñ dëkk bi day xanaa soo demee nga gis président bi di nga mun a wax moom lii ak lii ak lii. They have faith in them. And you were doing okay talking about things that you want to do, but you, along the line, messed up when you did a personal attack on Madi. As a head of state, you cannot be on a platform and make a personal attack. What that does is you are putting yourself on that person's level. You as a head of state should focus on your agendas. What you want for country, what you can do for country. Use actually Madi's concerns as a platform to do even better. Madi is one person, but there are tons of Madis around. There's a lot of Madis around. And they raise the same concerns. And these concerns are concerns that you as a head of state have to look at holistically and say, okay, they're saying this and this is what I'm going to do. And some of them you've listened. The reason why I said you've listened, because of your new cabinet. So you've listened. Madi is an individual. As a head of state standing and talking that especially Madi, dafa buga tal dëkk bi. I have listened to Madi's speech. I've gone through Madi's page. I've read all of Madi's comments because before coming out here and talking, I need to do some kind of investigative, stuff before coming and just talking. And there's absolutely nowhere in all of Madi's statement where he's inciting violence on saying, let's go out there and light a fire. In your statement, Mr. President, You said Madi dafa buga tal dëkk bi. Madi wants to light a fire. And when you say Madi is lighting a fire or wants to light a fire or inciting violence, what that does is you putting that into people's mental, state. You putting that into the people. So who's lighting the fire here? Is it Madi or is it you? Because Madi never said he wanted to light fire. Madi talks about, let's go out and demonstrate, peaceful demonstration. Let's go out, because he wants things done. I'm not sitting here just to side Madi. No, I'm sitting here as a Gambian and as all Gambians to say, I feel you have much better things to talk about, Mr. President. People want to hear from you. People want to hear about development. People want to hear about their next, what's going to happen next. People want to hear, hey, the economy, we understand globally, the economy is going down. What do we have for Gambia? What do you have for Gambia? What are you going to do for Gambia as Gambians? What are we expecting? The Council of Elders, Muslim elders that were at your place at the State House, they wanted to hear things like that because I heard the issues and some of the issues they raised. They gave you a blessing and they want to hear some of these issues. Of course, when you were having that speech on Madi, I had one of these elders that was in the background like a griot, just, cheering you. Mr. President, that guy, cheering you for that negative speech was wrong. Cheering you for that negative speech on Madi was wrong. You have to develop a thick skin. You cannot be watching the media or listening to the media or looking at the media and everything you pick from it, you take it as a negative. You can take these things as a positive. You can see how you can build on them. Do better. At the end of the day, whether we like it or not, you are the head of state. And because you are the head of state, you need to focus on development. People are looking at you, people are following you, people are waiting on you to basically hear what you have for everyone, for the Gambia, how we can move Gambia forward. And that is what is important. There's a lot of Madis. People will come, people will talk. That is what we call freedom of speech. That is what we call democracy. Sometimes people can go overboard. Sometimes people are just people, but that is why you are the leader. You are the leader, and that is how you rectify these wrongs. You rectify these wrongs by continuing doing what you do best. Look around you. Look at the whole world. Look at all the heads of state in the whole world. They don't have time sitting there and addressing or finger pointing on one person. They are too busy trying to fix the country because it's your tenor. You cannot stand on a platform or on a podium and pointing at one person when you have so many other people. Madi is just 1 out of 2 million to take care of. You have to develop a thick skin. And that thick skin means not listening just to one person and doing a personal attack. Actually, look at everything that he said and see how best you can work on that on a positive. The Gambians are waiting on you. The Gambians are waiting to see what you can do. And based on that, there's hope. Because when you were out there on your campaign trail, you made promises. And the people that voted for you are still expecting those promises to be fulfilled. So they don't have time to sit here listening to a president sending personal attacks to an individual. You can generalize your statement, but not to attack one person. Yes, Madi can be overwhelming sometimes. There's a lot of overwhelming people here in Gambia. But as a head of state, you have to understand your position, Mr. President. You have to understand your position. As a head of state, you cannot finger point one person, one individual, and make it a personal burden on yourself. Let that go. Talk about your policies. Talk about what you have for the country, because we are all sitting here, we are all waiting. You've came up with a good cabinet. You have new members in your cabinet. And that is great, because these were unexpected names and unexpected people that you brought on board. That means people that voted for you now have hope that there's going to be some changes. And that is what you focus on. I see on here somebody making a comment, how do you call it, a very rude comment. I don't encourage rudeness. I don't encourage people that are non-disciplined from home, disrespectful. I don't encourage that. But also, as a leader, it comes with the territory. You will just have unruly people on your platform trying to distract you. Well, that young guy, I'm just letting you know, whoever you are, that you're not insulting me. I am a woman, and I am talking on behalf of everybody in the Gambia, on men, women. If you don't like it, you can get off the platform. But it is as our duty to be able to address the president, to let him know there are certain things that he cannot do and certain things that he can do. So whether Madi is an abuser or whatever, that's his personal life. What we're talking about is the president pointing him out. The moment the president pointed him out, he made it personal. That's the head of state. The title speaks for itself. The only president I know that did something like that was, it was Trump. Now, we don't want a president like that. Because as a president, you have so much to do and so much to worry about. Your people are looking up to you. They're waiting to hear about what you're going to do. And when you talk about the things you're going to do, they're sitting down quietly and watching and waiting for that to happen. And that is what is important. When Madi comes out and says his things, I come out, say my thing. One or other two people come out and say, read through this, look at these things, see how best you can work on their grievances as a general thing, as a head of state of the country. Maybe this is not just from them. It is just from everybody, from the society, from people they interact with. Take it in the positive and see how you can work on it. Now that is on Madi, because like I said, before coming on here and talking, I listened to your speech, Mr. President. And when I listened to your speech, I was disappointed. Because I heard the Council of Elders, what they were talking about. They all came, they gave out, concerns and their blessings and all that. And you were supposed to address all of that. And you were doing okay until you dwell and personally talked on Madi Jobarteh. And that, if nobody is telling you it's wrong, Marisol, is telling you it's wrong. You could have even generalized it and said, people that are coming out there and, saying or talking, we need to uphold peace, we need to uphold tranquility, you're going to do some changes. Maybe this is how you need to come out. That way you're not personally attacking one person. Because it's not about Madi. It's about what is happening on ground. How the people are suffering. How people, when they go to the market, 1 minute prices are this, the next minute the prices are high. Sugar $7 to $10 to $12 a cup. The bribery, the drugs, so much has happened. And this is all whilst you're a president, and you're still the president. So if nothing else, that should help you to see how you move forward. Now you formed a new cabinet. All that negativity that was behind you, now you can forge ahead based on all this criticism. And I see that you're listening, because if you were not listening, you wouldn't have a Christian in your cabinet. If you were not listening, you wouldn't shift the whole game. And you did. And kudos to that. You surprised everyone. You did a lot of changes. Although there are still some people that are in your system that we were surprised that they're still in your system. Kudos to that. So maybe from here on out, we have what? A little over 4 years to go to see performance, to see now the changes you're going to bring. Everything you talked about, now you have a new cabinet, now you have new people that you injected in your system. Let us see what you can do now. Let us see what you can bring to the table. Let us see how all the grievances of Madi Jobarteh, how you can turn that around to the positive and show us that whatever Madi was saying, look at this, you have done this and this and this, and this is why you have your own cabinet to do this and this and this. Then people will applaud you, probably even vote for you again if you did well for a third term, which we don't want a third time. Only 2 terms we talked about, which is in our constitution, which should have been changed. But I'm just saying, so people can love you, because this is your history. This is you making history. So you can go down positive or you can go down negative. Donald Trump went down negative. You don't want to be a Donald Trump. Gambia is too small for you to be a Donald Trump. America is huge. You said you want to retire. In your speech, you said you want to retire right here. Build your house right here in Makamukunda, which you built. You want to be here. And you can only be here happy as an ex-president if you do what you're supposed to do as a president for the nation. Then people will applaud you and say nice things about you. Today on Facebook, I saw the former vice president, Dr. Aissatou Toure. When she was in office, everybody was so much negativity on her because they felt she was not performing. But at the end of the day, today on her Facebook, Gambians were sympathetic. Gambians were nice. Gambians were, thank you for your tenure. Thank you for serving the country. We respect you, ma. You know, they were giving her this goodbye, but a positive goodbye. That means even though she did not perform to people's expectation, she's still highly respected and she can live happily in the community. Mr. President, you are a Gambian. You know that Gambians don't take anything to heart. You know that when they talk, tomorrow they can even see you and the same person that has been negative can turn around and say, Mr. President, I'm still standing where I stand, but I hope you do better. That's the Gambian for you. So if you want to personalize things, it's not going to help you for your presidency. Now, on your new cabinet, we're all watching. I want to congratulate all the cabinet members, all your ministers, and all the new ministers that came on board. I want to congratulate you guys for your new role in government. And I hope that the way the people know you outside, because we heard people talking, these people, they have, they're credible, their integrity, and everybody's happy, especially for Mr. Ali Badara Juf. Everybody's talking so positive about you, Your Excellency. And I hope and pray that you uphold that you maintain that you don't change. And you all work for a better Gambia. You all put down policies and rules of law, policies that can take Gambia forward. That is what we expect. The only thing I'm disappointed about the cabinet is, again, we don't have enough women. We talk about inclusivity. We talk about encouraging women. On your campaign trail, Mr. President, you were encouraging women. You were talking to women. You were talking about you will have women in cabinet. But unfortunately, we didn't see that. You have only 3 women in your cabinet. We were hoping for more. We were hoping for more because we feel marginalized. We talk about disability. There's no disability representing in the National Assembly, not in your cabinet, nowhere. And women are getting less and less and less. It's like you're basically kicking women out. So these are things maybe as you go along, try to look again and see how you can include women in your system. But so far, we congratulate all the new members of your parliament or of your cabinet. We wish them all good luck as we watch and see and pray for them as well to be successful this next 5 years or 4.5 years. Now, other issues when it comes to us as Gambians. Just a little talk here. As Gambians, we need to also respect our leaders. I am saying that for a reason. All the political parties, all the political heads have been insulted, disrespected, called names, insulting, and sometimes it can be overwhelming. We have to understand that Gambia is a small country. We are interconnected. We are about only 2 million inhabitants. So when you talk about that, just look next door. You know that person, or if you don't know that person knows somebody that knows you. And because of that, when you insult somebody, it goes deeper than it's supposed to, because of when that person asks about you and they tell them the family you're coming from, it deeps deeper. The wound is deeper. It hurts. So let us be mindful. Let us be a better nation. I talk about this all the time. When I come on here, I talk about this all the time. I talk about let us be better as people. Let us talk positive for our country as citizens. These young guys, young boys and girls on Facebook, you think hiding on profiles and insulting somebody is good? But you want to be somebody today. You want to be somebody tomorrow. You want somebody to employ you. You want to be somebody tomorrow. But you feel that sitting behind social media and showing yourself is a good thing for the nation. It's a good thing for you and where you're coming from. Even if you're hiding behind a profile, we can still break that. Some of us are good with IT. Some of us are good with computers. And it's a shame for the whole Gambia to be so disrespectful to our elders, to be so disrespectful to our people. You can say what you have to say without being belligerent. Listen, I can use any word I want, but I choose not to because I am a better person. We can all be rude, and we can all be civil. We have children that can be very rude and very nasty, but we raise them better. And I'm sure your mothers and fathers raise you better, to be better people, to be better persons, because they have hope in you. Because you are their little self. They bring children to this world for those children to be better. So when you sit there behind fake profiles and you're insulting somebody's mother, you're not insulting anybody but your own mother. You're insulting somebody's father. It's the same thing. That means you have no respect and you are disgracing your family. And at the end of the day, when people find out what families you're coming from, it is an embarrassment. Huh? It's embarrassing. When you look at other countries, as much as they're unhappy, they refrain from certain use of words. And for me, the most disappointing thing is when women, female, when they use certain words. I, as a woman, I cringe. I cringe because it is embarrassing to say I'm a Gambian and these Gambian women are on social media using foul language that I have not heard. Even when I was going to school, I didn't hear such words. Maybe because the circle of friends I kept were better raised and would not use such dialect or such words. Gone are those days when you say a certain word, you get a slap. Whether it's from somebody in the street that doesn't even know you, they'll slap you. And when you go to your parent and say, somebody slapped me, your parent will say, why did they slap you? And then you dare not say why they slapped you because you'll get another slap. Just because we say, okay, now it's illegal or it's not right to hit kids, it's not right to do this, it's not right to do that. Come on, that doesn't mean now you go wild and be doing just whatever, lack of home training, lack of everything, lack of respect. It is only in the Gambia I see that leaders, political leaders that have suffered, shared, worked, did so much for country are being disrespected. Are being disrespected, no regard, no respect. And it's not even adults, it's little kids that are so disrespectful. What have we become? What is going on? And this is why we need our education system to be better again. Because if they cannot train you at home, when you go to school, you'll be straight. Because I don't know, is it because children are having children? Is that it? Is it because people are having kids so young that because they themselves are young and don't know any better or don't know anything, are raising young kids and then don't know how to raise them? Is that it? Because I don't understand. And this is why we needed women in a system. We needed females in the system, mothers, people from a generation that understand what it is to be respectful, people from a generation that knows what it is to make a country, like the whole country, to be a little bit disciplined. Gambia is only about 2 million inhabitants. What is going on in the Gambia is a damn disgrace. And that is what is important. Let us try to raise our children right. It starts from the home. It starts from the home. I was doing a little teaching at Ndaus, Mrs. Ndaus. And when we have kids that will come to the school, and sometimes you can just see from the background they're coming from, we try to help them to be better. But it starts from the home. Sometimes the kids are so bad from home that even the schools cannot control them. And this is why today we're having a society like this. A society that feels that they can come out and say whatever they want with nasty words and insulting. And when you go to these profiles, it's little boys and girls. Young, they have not even started life. Some of them are teenagers or in their early 20s. They are so idle that they spend their time on Facebook and all this Instagram insulting instead of looking for a job. And when I say look for a job, not an office, there are so many jobs. You can be a gardener, you can go to somebody's house and water the garden, you can cut the grass. There's so much to do. You can go and help make some bricks. You can make, even if it's $100 that you make, it is $100 that you didn't have. Even if it's $50, it's $50 that you didn't have. But you have enough credit and internet that you can sit online and insulting your elders. How are you going to be better? How are you going to move forward? How are you going to be a better person? How are you going to be successful? You think that is success? And my sisters and brothers in the diaspora, We all know the diaspora. I've lived over 30 years outside, from Europe to the US. And we all know when you have the time to sit online and be talking trash, it's because either you don't have a job, you're living off of the system, and you're miserable. Because if you had a job, definitely you will not have time to even be on social media. Your life is so busy, especially if you have a job and then you have kids, or you have a business and you have kids. You are running, especially countries like the US. The higher the job, the more money you get, the more work you have. And if you have your own business, you're trying so hard, especially as a black woman or black man, African for that matter, in the US, you sure are working hard to make sure that business sustains itself. So it's only idle people that have absolutely nothing to do or living off of a system that are sitting in their little cubicle and making a Facebook Live insulting on social media 24/7 because they are idle. Look at other countries. How many people, when you look at Ghana, you look at Nigeria, look at all these countries, they're developing, they're moving. Senegal, they're moving. Use your social media, your Instagram, use them to promote your products, use them to talk positive, use them to advise, because there's someone watching you, somebody wanting to imitate you, somebody that likes you just for you. Use the platform positively. Gambians, this is all too much. This is all too much. Somebody cannot stand in your face and you smile for them, and then they turn around and you backbite, or all these negative vibes. Huh? And then not only that, not only you stop at that, you go online airing your dirty laundry, or others' dirty laundry all outside, and think it is okay as a citizen of this country. But then you wonder why the head of state is getting down to that level too. You wonder why. We are a reflection. We are a reflection of the kind of leaders we get. And instead of helping the leaders of this country, we are busy trying to bring everybody down, trying to bring them down. When Honorable Halifa Sallah comes out, you see positive remarks, you see negative remarks, insulting. What for? Some of you, it's your grandfather. He should be respected. He did his quota. He did what he can for country. What he can do, you can't do. And you might not even in your lifetime be able to do it. When Honorable Usainu Dabo comes out, the same thing. You have people insulting, forgetting that he has families. He has children. He has grandkids. When I come out, even as a woman, I've got my share. But I'm not even talking about me. I'm talking about other politicians. I'm talking about our leaders in this country. When the president comes out, whether we like it or not, whether he won or not, whether he didn't win or not, that's all gone. But we need to still show respect, because it reflects on us as citizens. It reflects on us. When we sit there and we are insulting, you can address your grievance without using insulting words. I have just addressed him about Madi without using foul language. And waiting to see what he's going to do different. If Madi went against the law, we have the courts. Not to come out there and, finger point, that is wrong. And when the head of state does something wrong, you can address it without using foul language. Because at the end of the day, when you travel anywhere in the world and you put your passport down and it is a Gambian passport, they will say, oh, it's your president, Adama Barrow. You cannot say no. That is the fact. Whether you like him or not, if they say it's your president, Adama Barrow, you will say yes. Simple. You're not going to stand there at immigration or at the airport immigration and start explaining, no, it is Adama Barrow, but you know Adama Barrow. They don't have time for that. It's a yes and no answer. That is it. So let us start respecting each other. Let us start respecting our leaders, our elders. Let us show that we are small. This is a very small nation, but we have respect. Because you only can, you yourself, if you want respect, if you want people to respect you, you have to give respect to earn respect. And all you young boys and girls out there that are sitting behind fake profiles and all this insulting people, one day you're going to be of age. One day you're going to be in your 30s, 40s, 50s, 60s. Then you will want respect. And guess what? Nobody will respect you because you are forgetting that when you were young, you were out there just talking trash. And I tell you, you are all cowards. All these women and men and boys and girls sitting on social media using foul language, you are all cowards. That's why you hide. Do something positive with your life. Make Gambians proud. Make your families proud. Make people associated with you, your friends, your parents that brought you into this world with hopes that you're going to be better, with hopes that you're going to be somebody to them. Make them proud. Even if you're struggling, you don't bring your dirty laundry out in public. Struggle and pray to get better and move up and do better. Once again, I thank you all so much for coming on board here and listening. I just thought I'll come here and give a little advice, my little thought on the Madi Jobarteh issue, and also to congratulate all the new members of the cabinet. I'm wishing them the best. I'm wishing them good luck. I hope they do better. I hope things turn around and they realize the, the agenda of the president and know that they're there for country, not for an individual, even though they were selected by an individual, which is the head of state. He selected them based on their abilities and based on recommendations that came to him about how good they are and their integrity and all that. And they should not disappoint him, nor should they disappoint us, the Gambians. Because now we feel, oh, okay, he has shifted the ground a little bit. He has shifted the game. And we all have hope because the shift was unexpected. And we all have hope that hopefully these people that he put in his cabinet will do a little bit better to bring his agenda forward. And Mr. President, to end this, I'm asking you to avoid the social media if you cannot take the heat. To focus on your agendas, focus on why people elect you, focus on why people give you that platform for you to be the president again for the next term, and start doing things so people can see what you're doing. Because so far, there's a lot of things amiss. People have not been working, your ministries have not been working since elections. Don't forget, elections was 2021. Prior to elections, there's almost a whole year that your ministers didn't do much. And the stories and all that was taking place all this time, we need to start working. I understand you addressing meeting with the Council of Elders, I heard you talking about you're going to stop people having excuses, going to these naming ceremonies, ngente, and weddings, yes, that is a start. Because for some reason, Gambia has a culture of using all these excuses on people's time. I have employees, and the same thing that happens. Oh, I couldn't come because, my auntie is sick, or I couldn't come because I have a naming ceremony, or I couldn't come. And they don't understand that that is your time. So what I do, I deduct that from their pay. And until these stands are taken, Gambia is not going to be serious. So people have to understand their time for work and that money you're paying at the end of the month is you're paying them wages based on service rendered. And if they're not there, they cannot be paid. And maybe if you start, if somebody's absent one time, two times, or all this negative, maybe there should be more measures taken in all these offices so that people will understand that you mean business. Because if not, you can get the best ministers in town, you can get the best of the best, but if the people or the people that they employ are not disciplined to work, are lazy, then you're going to have the same results you were having all these past years. So you need to hold your ministers accountable. When you hold them accountable, they will hold people under them accountable, and then it's a domino effect. People will start holding each other accountable. And when I say accountable, you have to set some examples, they have to set some examples, and then that is how you start getting people to understand, hey, first letter, second letter, third one, you're out. They start getting Gambia has to start getting into the routine of being disciplined in a positive way.